Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein, the Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others, are all Democrats. All I want is for people to recognize a great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars, and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job, and I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything, and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything, and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. You know, they cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, at a lot of inconvenience. So I'm for any, I don't, they can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it, let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time.
Discredited author Michael Wolff plotting with Epstein to get Trump. That's what those emails reveal. And why did Jeffrey Epstein hate Donald Trump so much? Well, it's not just because Epstein was a prolific Democrat donor, but as Michael Wolff himself admitted, Epstein suspected that Trump had reported him to the authorities.
At that point, Epstein's legal problems began. The police began to investigate him over allegations that he was, that there were underage women coming to his house. Epstein believed that it was Trump who first informed the police about what was going on at Epstein's house. And from that point on, they were nothing but bitter enemies.
And this is what he's telling you. This is one of the instances of what he's telling you.
Yes.
Joining me now is Newsweek's senior editor-at-large and Article 3 Project senior counsel Josh Hammer. Josh, this is an enormous scandal. The Democrats working with Epstein, a known sex offender, to get Donald Trump.
Yeah, Rita, everything that you need to know about the story is based on the relevant timeline, which is that Democrats had some mild success in the off-year elections about 2 weeks ago at this point in New York City, New Jersey, and Virginia. And then inexplicably, but on the other hand, I guess entirely predictably, they caved on the shutdown fight. Like, they totally caved. I mean, Chuck Schumer epically capitulated there. It's the irony of all ironies. He was fighting this shutdown fight to try to forestall an AOC primary challenge in his New York Senate race in 3 years. Now the left is all angry at him. So in order to try to get the momentum back in their favor, in order to try to divert attention from the victorious Republicans and to try to bring the spotlight back to how Democrats are allegedly doing something, fill in the blank there, mysteriously these 20,000 emails magically appear. Look, Rita, my humble opinion is that the Epstein story ranks probably somewhere between the 40th and 50th most important story to the American people. I think the fact that Democrats are resorting to this, frankly, reeks of desperation. It's not just hypocrisy and desperation, though. It is, frankly, just astounding that anyone would take them at their word. To be clear, there were horrific, detestable, loathsome, some of the worst crimes that you can even imagine occurred in this horrific case, roughly 2 decades or so, give or take. Everyone wants justice for the victims. But it's hard to take these same Democrats seriously, Rita, when we know that there was one particular president who was much closer to Jeffrey Epstein than Donald Trump, who, by the way, kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was quick to note this past week. And that Democrat president who was very chummy with Jeffrey Epstein, the noted Democrat donor, was Bill Clinton. Funny you should ask. I don't see Ro Khanna or any of these other House Democratic leaders, Hakeem Jeffries. None of them are talking about Bill Clinton's various trips on the so-called Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein's private plane. Why is that? I think the American people see through this, Rita. They see this as a nakedly political stunt there. Donald Trump, yes, he knew Jeffrey Epstein. Guess what? So did a lot of people. A lot of very powerful, very prominent people knew Jeffrey Epstein. The fact that he was corresponding with him, frankly, means absolutely nothing whatsoever in my judgment there. This is a pure political stunt. The American people are going to see right through it, I think.
Well, just finally on the Democrats' links with Jeffrey Epstein, the New York Post has reported that Epstein was feeding questions to Stacey Plaskett during a 2019 congressional hearing, giving her real-time help on how to damage President Donald Trump. And there are also reports that Epstein was in meetings with Obama White House counsel Catherine Rumler. Tell me about that connection. What's that about?
Well, it's actually potentially even worse than that. So there was one of the, there are 20,000 emails, so there's a lot that comes up there. But there was actually a potentially even more interesting email than this that I saw involving Barack Obama. That's why I thought of it. And this email has to do, I'm trying to remember which election cycle it was. I think it was the 2016 election cycle. And there was an email from Epstein talking about how Barack, now he misspelled it. There were 2 R's, not one. So it was misspelled in the email. But there was an email from Jeffrey Epstein talking about how Barack is coming over for dinner tonight. And if you actually look on the timestamp, I think this was in late October, November. It was around the precipice of the 2016 election. If memory serves, Barack Obama was out on the campaign trail campaigning for then candidate Hillary Clinton. Well, guess where he was at that time, at the same time that Jeffrey Epstein sent that email? Oh, yeah, he was in South Florida. He was campaigning in South Florida at the same time that Jeffrey Epstein was talking about having someone named Barack over to his house for dinner in Palm Beach. I wonder who that could be, right? So, I mean, Bill Clinton is one thing. We've known about these Bill Clinton ties to Jeffrey Epstein for years, but I think that the curious onlooker might, if the curious onlooker here is not hypocritical, unlike Hakeem Jeffries and Ro Khanna, if the curious onlooker is actually intellectually honest, I think one might be inclined to ask, what did Barack Obama know and when did Barack Obama know?
Of course, it could be an entirely different Barack with 2 R's, so we'll wait and see. Now, Donald